Hey Gemini, welcome to your Lionsgate reading. We're going to jump right in and see what theme or energy is surrounding this reading for you guys. And what we have that flew out for you is the Sacred Temple. Yeah, all right. So, for my Geminis out there, it feels as though this Lionsgate is an opportunity for you to honor the Sacred Temple. Now, what the Sacred Temple is can vary from person to person. Typically, it's yourself. You are the most sacred temple that there is in your life's journey. And so it feels as though maybe you have been a little bit neglectful to yourself. Maybe you haven't been eating well or sleeping well or, exercising or doing things that have brought stress into your life or, doing other things that are potentially harmful to your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotional self. So I think that there's going to be a lot of attention that's being given to yourself, to every aspect of you and those things that do make you so sacred in this body that all of this goodness is being housed in. So let's get into some cards and see what additional details we can get around that. And we're first going to take a peek at what you might think about leaving behind during this time period. And we have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is, of course, a very fiery energy. It's very passionate. It can also signify, I think, a bit of anger. There may be some situations that you have experienced or are currently experiencing that just do not make you feel good. Like I'm feeling a bit of a tightness in my chest, Gemini, where it's like I feel very warm. I feel very just, like I want to growl at somebody. And so it doesn't feel particularly good. It feels like a very stressful energy. And it seems as though, it almost feels as though there's this sort of rage building up. And it's like, how do I stop this? How do I get out of this? And we have that clarified by Strength in reverse. So I almost feel that for a lot of my Geminis is what's coming through most strongly for you all right now is that there's this sense of not feeling particularly empowered. It almost feels as though people are running over you and it's like, how do I stop this? And it's like internally you're about to absolutely combust because it's like, on one hand, it's almost like the audacity of these people to keep asking me for things, to keep demanding things of me. And then internally, it's like, why do I keep letting these people do this? Like, why I should just say no, I should just walk away. So it feels like a bit of anger on both sides. So there's this clash between like, it's them and then it's like, well, it's me. And so it feels as though you're almost stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, I just don't, I give up. I don't know how to get out of this. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, that's not good. And it's not good. Doesn't look good, doesn't feel good, doesn't smell good. So we need to leave that in the past. So how do we get out of that? What you need to take with you, emotional contentment, the 9 of Cups. So this is about being really emotionally satisfied. And this type of satisfaction very rarely comes from external sources. This is sort of being content within yourself, being emotionally good within yourself, independent of anyone or circumstances outside of you. So I guess that sort of begs the question, Gemini, what is it that's going to make you content? If you haven't sort of, stopped to give some thought to that, it might be worth now because that's what you need to carry through this portal in order to get out of this energy. And we also have the Knight of Wands to clarify. So the Knight of Wands is a relatively fast moving energy. It tends to be a messenger card. And so I almost feel as though, there's a fire that needs to sort of be ignited in you. And I think that you're getting to that point, especially with this Ace of Wands that we saw popping up, this feeling that's bubbling up, that's sort of boiling inside of you. It feels like you need to take a little piece of that and sort of transmute the energy and make it a little bit more productive so you get yourself to your happy place. So, you know, instead of, raging at yourself or raging at other people, how do you take that anger? How do you take those emotions and turn it into something that is going to benefit you? Now, what you're going to find as you go through this process, we have the Star card in reverse. So the Star card, when it's upright, is a card of, wishing and hoping and wish fulfillment and all of that good stuff. But it can be, to a certain extent, a card of delusion, that sort of just ridiculous wishful thinking and, without sort of action behind it. Sort of being in that place where you hope that, something will just drop from the sky and fix everything. And I think that there's going to be a little bit more of a reality nudge that comes in where it's like, well, I can hope that things get better, but I also think that it's going to take me taking some steps towards that. And we have that clarified by the 9 of Pentacles. So interestingly enough, Aquarius also had the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles come out in their reading as well. Different positions, but similar energy. And so I think that you're going to find that, again, this sense of stability, this sense of grounding is not going to be granted to you by anyone else. This is something that you're going to have to go out and pursue on your own, independent of anyone else. So while you seem to have a lot of noise that's happening around you and a lot of noise internally, it's going to be really important for you to find a way to clear out some of that space. Now, the energy that's going to be activated during this time period as well, we have the Hermit. And so I like this card for you a lot, Gemini, because the Hermit is someone who really embarks on a solo journey. It's their journey of self. They're not bringing anyone with them. They are moving forward based on their intuition and the lessons that they have learned prior. They are a soul in search of answers, in search of wisdom and understanding. So this is very much a time, I think, of quiet for you to figure out what it is that you want, who it is that you are, and what the best way is for you to sort of proceed through life. And we have death, which with the Hermit is absolutely perfect, because as you're going on this solo journey, there's a transformation that's going to happen, because death is really about the endings of some things and the beginnings of others. There is a profound transformation where you are going to start looking at other people differently. You're going to start looking at yourself differently. You're going to approach life differently. You're going to speak to yourself differently. And where you realize that you may have been neglecting yourself, with other people just sort of doing what they want and you beating yourself up about it, this is going to be a different vibe for you. You're going to find yourself in a different space. And this is going to become clear to you with the 8 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. Now, as you are putting in this work, other people, I think, are going to notice a shift, because the 5 of Wands is a bit of a conflict card, right? It's somebody defending themselves. It's someone fighting. It's people not seeing eye to eye. So as you go on this hermit journey and you undergo this transformation, as you start honoring yourself and your desires and your feelings more, you are going to start seeing people popping up and saying, wait a minute, Gemini, what are you doing? How dare you change up? What do you mean we can't use you anymore? What do you mean you're not going to do what we want you to do or say what we want you to say? How dare you be your own person? And so you're going to see, as you put in the work, you're going to be validated that you are on the right path when these other people start popping up and disagreeing with the new path that you were on. Interestingly enough, the path that is best for you, not them. There's going to be people who are going to be mad, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Now, how this is going to change you, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Grand opening, grand closing. The wheel is turning. Life is cyclical, right? So now you're coming out of a rough patch where you weren't, honoring yourself. You weren't honoring the sacred temple. But now that you got your feet under you and you know what you want and you're grounded and you realize that catering to everybody and everything else is not going to get you there. Well, that wheel's turning. And the universe is going to respond to the energy that you're putting out there. You're going to rid yourself of a lot of people. And it may be disappointing. It may be hard. It may be a little bit sad. But this is fated to happen. This growth for your own self-preservation and being protected needs to happen. So let the fates take over as you put in this work. It's going to make sure that you are put on the right path. And we have the 7 of Cups to clarify. Now, the 7 of Cups, of course, has a lot of meanings. It can be about options and having to sort through which one is best for you. It can also be a card of illusions, right? Because every cup is not necessarily the same. And so as you go through, as the wheel turns for you, you're going to start seeing what's in these cups, i.e. these other people, these emotional connections that you have with other folks. You're going to start seeing those for what they truly are. You're going to look in the cup and be like, oh, that's nice. That cup has flowers. I like flowers. I'll keep that one. Oh my God, that cup has a fish head. What the hell am I going to do with that? And so I think that you are going to start seeing things for what they actually are. And that's going to serve you well on your journey. The universe is going to make sure that as you take these steps, that your eyes are open and you're fully enlightened as to what's going on around you, the people, places, and things that are being put in your path for your benefit. You're going to be better able to discern who and what those things and people are. Now, in terms of the benefit that's going to come to you, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Slowly but surely you are building. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but they are also one of the most stable. This is foundation building. And so as you go through this process of learning yourself and learning how to operate in a different space when it comes to other people and their expectations and their demands of you, when you take this time to undergo your own transformation towards a place that is much healthier for you in all aspects of your life, you are going to be building this foundation little by little by little. And again, it's not going to be without its challenges because we have people who aren't going to be happy about it. But understand that you moving forward in a way that's good for you, in a way that you're undergoing, this sort of transformation, it's all for your long-term benefit. You'll see some things in short order, but this is going to be foundational growth in how you treat yourself for the rest of your life's journey. And we have that clarified with Temperance in reverse. So I just heard no more Mr. Nice Guy. So I think that with the Temperance card, this is someone who's incredibly patient and they can be pretty, balanced, and they're all about, the blending of two different things, ideas and such. I think that your unending flow of temperance is now coming to an end, where you were abundantly patient and you were more than willing to give of yourself, to other people. I do think for my Geminis out there that those days are pretty much coming to an end, that you are no longer going to be in a place where you sacrifice yourself for the pure benefit of everybody else. And you're not going to be so patient when it comes to other people and their imposing demands on you. So, final message from Sirius, we have take the lead. So, again, this is something, Gemini, that is fully in your control. It's not going to happen without your sort of conscious intervention. It's not going to happen without you giving yourself a little bit of a wake up call and saying, I need to take a step back. I need to look at things differently. I need to operate differently. So if you take the lead, then the universe is going to follow. And it's going to bless you with a lot more confidence and you being in a place and space to treat yourself the way that you absolutely deserve to be treated. So that's what I got for my Geminis. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.